Hello, and welcome to Getting to Know ACS with Tracy and
Jasmine.
So we're just here today to talk about some different things that ACS has to offer, and also talk about some things that Jasmine is learning, because as you guys are learning, Jasmine is learning too. So let's just go ahead and get into it, Jasmine. So since you've been at ACS, what has been like your greatest aha moment from what you learned?
Definitely ACS being a one-stop shop, right? Like just calling and telling them your issue, and then they find, who you need to go to if they can't help you, or they have like the service to help you.
So your experience, so let's just talk about what's been your experience from the day you started at ACS up until this point. Because how long have you been here with us now?
5 months.
Okay, so in the 5 months, what's been like, what are some of those moments where you come to like, Tracy?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So when I first started at ACS, when I first got the interview, I had no idea what I was interviewing for. I was just like, I know what ACS is, but I don't know what they do.
Right.
So let's just hope I sit at an office and know what I'm doing, right?
So then when me.
Right, yeah. So when I started working there, that's when I started finding out, like, you had a lending closet? Like, what? I can borrow a coffee pot? And just like learning all the other stuff. I had no idea what family advocacy was prior to that. So that was interesting to learn.
Right.
And just like all the services, brochures, welcome packets, right? Like I've never seen a welcome packet before I started working there. So I was just like, this is crazy to think that I never utilized the resources that were available to me.
Right. And because you come from a background, and I think we talked about this before, you come from a background where you were a dependent and then you were also active duty.
Yes.
And never knew anything about.
Had no idea.
So,
I didn't even know there was a linen closet. So I was like poor buying coffee pots, which really made me upset because I was just like, I could have borrowed like a whole kitchen set.
I know, and it's something because they have like the whole kit.
The whole kit in different colors too. Like, excuse me, those are like $40 at the, whatever store you go to.
And then you get your plates, you can get, silverware, you get all that stuff. And then it's like, okay, all you have to do, and when you use the linen closet, even though you didn't, but when people use the linen closet, do they have to pay for it?
No, it's free.
Free!
Right, they just say, hey, when you're done and you get your stuff, like maybe bring it back, right? So other people can use it. So.
Right, well, hopefully not maybe. Bring it back, please bring it back.
If you don't forget, right?
If you don't forget, but yeah.
But yeah, so that was probably one of the biggest resources because you move so much and you never have what you need when you get to your new location, at least for a couple of months.
Yeah, or, because even if you bring your whole baggage, it's something you forgot. You forgot to bring something. I know from many years of moving around with the military. And, surprisingly, Fort Bliss was the first place that we ever really utilized the linen closet, because just like you, when I started working at ACS many years ago, I had no idea what all ACS did. But talking about like the linen closet and stuff, when I got here, they didn't have microwaves, but now you can even check out a microwave from the linen closet. And how cool is that you can get a microwave and be able to get your meals or whatever.
Right.
Without having to spend that expense when I know I have a microwave coming in my whole goods. So, but that is something, that whole linen closet thing, and you get a whole little kit, or if you just want to come and borrow one little pitcher,
you're good to go. You don't got to buy it.
You don't have to buy it. You can come and get it there.
You don't have to go CFRP for going into debt. Like, help me.
So,
just kidding.
So like FRP. So what, and we're going to have someone from FRP come on and go into more detail about what they do. But just from what you see, what do you think about FRP? Which, for those of you who may not know the acronyms, FRP is Financial Readiness Program. And we just have to remember, I have to remember that. I know there may be some of you out there that don't know all the acronyms. So write in the comments, say, hey, Tracy, quit using all them acronyms. And I will. Or at least I'll tell you what it is. So
Yes.
Financial Readiness Program.
So Financial Readiness Program, I know a little bit about still. So correct me if I say something that is incorrect, but like they help you with budgets and they help you kind of not go in the hole. Like they say, hey, you got to reel it in, right? Like stop spending, or they give you ways to stop spending, or they offer other resources to help you. Like the lending, like don't buy that microwave for $100 when
Right.
you can borrow one, right? So they definitely help you not get yourself into trouble.
Right.
Which is luckily, you know, if you are in trouble, they can probably refer you to Army Emergency Relief. Yes.
AER.
AER.
And they, you know, because they kind of intertwine.
Yes,
But then, you know, also what a lot of people don't realize with financial readiness, they're also able to help you with your investments. You know, so for those who are part of the, you know, what do I do with my 401k or what do I do with, what is it on the GSI? What's it called? They're spending, TSP. That's what I want.
Yes.
You know, they can help you decide, okay, do I want to be really aggressive or do I want to, you know, play it safe?
And well, everybody's getting into investments, which is cool because they have all the apps, Robinhood, right?
Right.
GameStop
Acorns.
just went crazy, so
Yeah, and
they
so,
could
you
have
know,
probably told you.
and, you know, you talk about how GameStop, you know, this whole thing with GameStop, our financial readiness people can tell you, okay, this is a good idea, this isn't a good idea, because they are all certified financial planners. And that's the thing, that's the wonderful thing I like about, you know, ACS is because the people that we have working there, they are professionals. You know, at the end of the day, they're professionals. Our financial readiness people, they are certified financial planners. You can go to, you know, another agency and pay that money, but why?
Right.
You know, why pay for it when part of your benefit of being in the military is ACS?
Right.
In the services that we offer.
Right.
So-
And they have books too, right? That they can
Yes, they
like,
do.
oh, you want to learn? Like, here's a book. You don't have to go to Barnes and Noble and spend $40 on an investment for dummies. Like,
We have that book.
yes, yes.
And, you know, in talking about books and budgeting, you know, they even in financial readiness, which some people are like, well, why? But they even have books for cooking on a budget. You know, it's
that I
like,
probably need to read because I don't cook anyway. But
I know.
when I do cook, it's super expensive. Like, why is my grocery bill $200 and I'm trying to burn chicken, right?
I
Like,
know, because you don't cook.
Yeah. I don't.
And they would probably say, hey,
Learn.
Jasmine,
Take a
it's
class.
like, you know, you're spending X, Y, Z on going out to eat
yeah.
for you and your kids. When we get back, you know what? You're going to have to get
get the
you a
book.
cooking on a budget book.
Yes.
Just because, I mean, you think about it, for someone who is maybe, you know, you might have a family that's a small family, and they may think, okay, I only have little kids, they don't eat a lot, so just me and my spouse, we can go and eat out. But then that adds up.
Yes.
You know, you figure you're eating out for lunch, you might be stopping and getting some breakfast too, and then you going home and so that adds up. Oh, they would have hated me back in the day. They're like, Tracy, I'm gonna need you to get your life together.
Yeah, especially the more busy you are, the more you spend on convenience, right?
Yeah. So I like that, you know, like I said about ACS, because there are so many avenues that we can go to. Yeah. So what is another program that you actually benefited from? How did you get your job?
So,
what program helped you get your job?
family advocacy program? What do you mean?
How did you learn? How did you find out about the opening for family advocacy? How did you know that there
Oh,
was a
yes!
Duh!
Employment readiness. So I saw this on a billboard one day in a different state, and I was just like, they offer employment readiness? Like, what? They help you find a job. And when I was in the military, I know there was a service about it, but I didn't go to check them. I don't remember it very good. So I went again and I found out about it, and they actually referred me to the ACS on Fort Bliss.
You know why they referred you? Because Fort Bliss, ACS, we rock.
Right.
Enough
Because
said. But anyway.
I got in touch with Denise from ERP, and I can tell you within, I think it was a total of 2 to 3 weeks, I had already started a job with ACS. Like, Denise, what? What? Because I was expecting that I wouldn't have a job for a couple months at least.
Right. So, you know, and again, we're going to have all these programs. We're going to have someone from each of these programs that we're talking about. We're going to have them come in and elaborate a little more on their program. But what was it that employment readiness did for you? So how did Denise help you out in that program?
So yeah, I emailed her. I found her on Facebook. I emailed her, and she was just like, yeah, like I'll just send you weekly like job openings. And you know, it was a very long list. I know I didn't want some of them because I was looking for a particular job. So she sent me a ad for ACS, and then she's like, if you want to apply for it, you know, send me your resume so I can look it over. And I sent her one, but I sent her the wrong one. And she was just like, Jasmine, this resume is not going to cut it. I was like, Denise, I'm so sorry. So I fixed it, and I sent her the one that I had originally was supposed to send her. And she was just like, you're good to go. And then I said, Denise, I haven't interviewed in so long. Like, can you help me? So we called, we did a mock interview, you know, and she was just like, you know, kind of hyping me up. Like, you're going to do great. Those were really good answers, right? So I was just like, yes, super confident. So then the next day I had the job interview, and then
the rest is history.
Yeah, I was just like, I was a little shocked, honestly. Like, did I just do that? Because I am terrible at interviews. Terrible. I get so nervous and I mess up my answers. My brain stops working. But because of Denise's help, right? Like I was able to practice.
And so, you know, and again, it's all a perception of, you know, ERP, employment readiness. So when we're saying ERP, that's employment readiness program. So it's all that perception of like, okay, well, what does ERP do? They help you with your resume.
Yes.
They do mock interviews for you, you know, and I think that is one of the most beneficial things besides the resume is the mock interview. Especially if you haven't gone on an interview in a long time, to know the questions, because I'll tell you, one of the things that they will do, you let them know who your interview is with.
Yes.
They're going to look for, or what the interview is for, the position that the interview is for. They look for questions that are relevant to that position. So even if it's not specific for that job, I mean, for that organization, there's basic questions that are going to be asked. They ask, you know, they give you the opportunity. And I will tell you, their mock interview a lot of times is harder than the actual interview.
Yes.
And to be able to get that feedback from them is so valuable.
Yes, yeah.
So, you know, those are just some of the things that, you know, we do here and at ACS. And again, we're going to continue highlighting different programs, but we just want you to know that ACS is here for you. It's not a bad thing. You know, it's one of those things that if you don't know, you don't know. But when you find out, you have those moments like Jasmine, and it's like, ah.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to continue to talk about. So until the next time, this is Tracy signing off, and
Jasmine. And don't forget, if you want to keep getting updates, subscribe, click that little bell to keep getting notifications that we uploaded a new video.
So until next time, have a wonderful Army Day.
Bye.
Bye.